Old Guy here. Today we're going to be talking about rethreading sets. I started looking, I have a few rethreaders just for making sure that holes in whatever you have, brake hubs, hub carriers, blocks, nuts, bolts, hardware, maintain their thread. You don't use a tap and die set because the tap and die set, if you run it back through a nut or you run it into a hub carrier that's got a screw, and it recuts the threads, and actually it makes it looser. So they have what they call a rethread kit. So I've picked up a couple of rethreader taps or dies over the years as I needed one. I decided that, I should probably have a kit. And I started looking at them. Of course, like most searches, I searched on Amazon. I found I was looking basically for metric because I have metric cars. But I do have some SAE things around, around the house and stuff like that. I found the metric kits were like 15 of them, okay, taps and dies combined. So that meant there was 7 taps, 7 dies, and 1 rethread file. I'm not going to explain all this on how they work because there's a bunch of videos out there. Anyway, I was looking at the ones on Amazon, figured out I needed a 48 or 49 piece kit because it had the most metric in it. It had 10 dies, 10 taps, and a file. The 15s only had 7. That wasn't quite enough. It was missing a lot. But one thing I started to notice going through Amazon is that all these kits are basically the same with a couple of exceptions. You go online and they're either 49 or 48, and the only difference between the 48 and 49 is it's missing a rethreading file. There's 3 in the 49, there's only 2 in the 48. And in some cases, the case is exactly the same. All these blown cases are almost identical. Anyway, we're going to go up to the bench and we're going to talk about this. I'm going to show you the 3 threading kit I bought, the rethreading chaser set kit I bought, and we'll go from there. Okay, so this is the set I purchased off Amazon. Like I said, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh, there's 9. No, there's 10. I can't count. There's 10 dies for metric, and there's 10 taps for metric. That was what my basic concern is. These 2 files are for SAE, and this file up here is for metric. Now, the only difference between these and the 48 cases is usually there's no file up here. And some of these cases will have the slots but no file. And then you have the 42 and you have the 15, and the 15 are just the metric, but they don't have this many. If they'd had 20 in metric, I probably would have bought it. Anyway, the thing I found that was interesting is all these cases, they could be black, they could be blue, and they could be red. But they're basically all the same. Now, some of them, like this Tomars or Tomars, whatever it is, they have the name on the tool. These ones have names, okay? And like I said, all these here, these 5 names, and as you can tell by the names, they're Chinese because half of them make no sense. All these kits here on Amazon will have, a chart like this with a name up here, and they'll either have a name here or they'll have a name on the handle. Now, those are the ones that have a name, but the cases are all the same. Like I said, these don't have any, I call them no name, because there's no name anywhere in the toolbox. They don't even have the chart sometimes. Most of the time, none of these have the chart. These names are only in the title of the tool. And all these tools are repeated over and over. So I'm assuming that all these kits on Amazon, they're all laid out. The cases are all the same, except this tool appears in some of them, and sometimes there's not. And like I said, they don't always have the label. But everything is laid out exactly the same, whether it has a name or whether it has no name. So I'm assuming all these are made by the same company. They vary in price from $49 all the way up to actually to $102. The average price is in the middle 50s. But to me, they're all the same. So it doesn't matter which one you buy. They're all identical. So anyway, that's what I found on Amazon. There was 2 examples where it wasn't this type of case. The case was a little different, similar, but there was actually 2 American made. Let's see, anything else I got on this? I don't think so. I mean, it's the same way with the 15. Okay, I was talking about earlier the ones that were just metric and they were 15 pieces. All those cases were exactly the same. So somebody's making it. These companies are putting their name on it, or they're not putting the name on it, and they're just selling it with the name and the title. And they've got a 42-piece set, same way. They've got a 53 or 54-piece set, same way. All the cases are the same. Everything's laid out the same. To me, they're all the same. I stopped looking after 7 pages on Amazon because Amazon gives you, when you do, their search engine basically sucks. You do a search for a thread chaser, thread restoring, pap and dye, whatever, and you get all this other stuff you don't need. So after 7 pages, I basically just stopped. So anyway, that's my conclusion. All these kits with all those strange names, and they're laid out like this, and they're black, blue, or red, they're all the same kit. These are my thoughts. This is what I found to be true.